Look like Shedeur Sanders has returned back to Boulder, Colorado. God, as the Colorado Buffaloes get ready to play Arizona, there's a familiar face in town. I'm here to tell you, dog, Shedeur Sanders made his way back to Boulder. Now, many people have speculated that Shedeur might not return back to Boulder due to the simple fact that he was going to stay in Cleveland and possibly prepare to play for this upcoming game against the...
Hold on a minute. Was Shedeur Sanders indeed able to execute the move that no one anticipated? The man who had NFL scouts almost salivating over him abruptly changed his mind and declared, "No, I'm staying in Boulder."
I know you need your son. I know you need some love in the bag.
I know you need your dad.
I know you need some love in the bag.
You playing today? Go get your stuff on. You playing today?
I know you need some love and affection, dog.
Yes, exactly. Now that Shedeur is back with the Colorado Buffaloes, the internet is going crazy. But wait, what is the true purpose of this? Is it strategy, loyalty, or just plain mayhem? Perhaps the most audacious move he has ever made in his career is this twist. As in, picture this. Shedeur simply strolls back into Colorado as if he forgot his hoodie and chose to stay another semester. After all the drama, rumors, and Cleveland talk. Right now, you can almost hear the internet gasping. Everybody swore he was locked in with Cleveland, performing drills, studying playbooks, and maybe even getting ready to debut against the Jets. However, the biggest comeback since Tom Brady's retirement was just made by the college football prodigal son.
I'm here patiently waiting. I've been real humble, and I said I'm not going to disrespect no other players because I don't need to.
Yeah.
You know, the head coach is doing enough disrespect. It's like I'm wondering, why can't Shedeur get a shot? You got two rookies. One rookie is playing bad.
Yeah,
he ain't doing much, right? And my thing is, you got a player that people want to see that are curious about. Is he good? Is he a fifth rounder? Or was he really a first rounder? Let's find out. Because everything I've talked to coaches over there, because I know a lot of coaches over there in the Browns, and I know a lot of players over there.
Boulder now feels like a big family reunion that was unexpectedly interrupted by an RSVP. Naturally, turmoil broke out as soon as the news was posted online. At a Taylor Swift Chiefs game, people were typing more quickly than ESPN interns. As if Deion had just re-enlisted his own son, half of the supporters were rejoicing, while the other half were fixated on their displays, asking themselves, wait, what timeline are we living in right now? This is the most absurd part. Not even a dazzling post, no press conference, no major announcement. The Shedeur arrived just now. That's all. It grew louder in the silence. Everyone is now curious as to what is actually happening. As always, he pulled up smoothly. Boom, serene energy and cool hues. The internet immediately launched DEFCON 1. It seems that one Sanders sighting in Boulder is all it takes to send the football community into a tailspin. This is where things start to go crazy. Everyone is attempting to figure out what it signifies. Is he returning to play? Just stopping by? Or is he perhaps filming the follow-up, Primetime? One thing is obvious, but no one knows for sure. For the time being, Dillon Gabriel remains labeled as QB1.
Or could be a spark that helps the players play better.
Oh, yeah, but look he fires me up. I want to play better. I'm physically not good enough to beat you, okay? Those players aren't physically good enough to play the teams they're playing, okay? Look at the men that we are playing against, okay? You're not trying, okay? You can fire me up. You do fire me up. I want to fall. I'll run through a wall for...
Let's be honest, though. The quarterback room becomes more awkward than a collective project where only one person actually completed the task when Shedeur Sanders enters the building. In that locker room, you can almost feel the air getting tighter. Imagine it. While his mind cries, please let this man just be visiting family, Dillon Gabriel sits there feigning to stretch. Deion, meanwhile, is grinning over there like a man holding a playbook that no one else can see. Because that is the Sanders family's peculiarity. They always have a reason for moving. Every action, every post, and every sideline visit has a purpose. Shedeur's decision to return to Boulder was therefore more than a chance detour down memory lane. It was a signal, no? Some supporters vouch for his loyalty, saying he was unable to avoid his father, his team, or the city that elevated him to legendary status. Some claim it's unresolved, as if he hasn't completed penning his Colorado legacy yet. The conspiracy gang, on the other hand, who have red string, corkboards, and far too much spare time, are claiming that this action has a deeper meaning. To be honest, they might not be mistaken, because there's another plot line that is simmering in the background and ready to blow out while everyone is freaking out over Shedeur's return. The conspiracy involving Dillon Gabriel. Yes, the one. Everyone is eyeing it like the last piece of cake at the barbecue, but no one wants to touch it. The whispers go like this. Dillon Gabriel apparently wasn't included in the mix by chance. Not at all. There is a rumored extensive network from Gabriel's former college coach to Cleveland's coaching staff. And Jimmy Sexton is a strong name that connects all the threads. If that name doesn't seem familiar, consider Jimmy to be the ultimate insider in football, the man who knows everyone. With a Bluetooth headset, he essentially plays the role of the sports puppet master.
Tim, are you going to come back for homecoming? And this was the exchange on the live stream. Take a listen.
Am I coming to see you homecoming? Nah, I'm not coming to see you homecoming. I can't make it out there.
My name is...
I wish I could, though, but it just can't happen. I got treatment out here. I can't be, I got to get ready. Big ready.
Big ready. I got to get ready. Big ready. Gerard, does he know something we don't know?
We are discussing the agent who is responsible for half of the most well-known players in the league. The entire VIP list, including Kirby Smart, Dan Lanning, Lane Kiffin, and Kevin Stefanski. With a confirmed LinkedIn site, the man is essentially the football Illuminati. Sports Twitter went crazy at that point. This whole debate over who wins the quarterback slot suddenly begins to look more like networking than competition if Gabriel's old coach, Dan Lanning, has the same agent as the Browns' head coach, Kevin Stefanski. You can almost imagine the phone call. "Hey Dan, I love you." "Dillon, it is like family. Perhaps we can get him into a pleasant NFL scenario." "Yes, Kev, if we maintain it within the agent circle." Boom.
The same way the rookie that's starting now is just playing okay. And the old fella that just left wasn't playing at all good. So my thing is, why can't Shedeur start? Yes, give him a chance. I do think before the year is over, they give him a shot. The only thing I'm scared of is they give him a shot. I don't want to see him with the third string player. I would hate to play with the third string guys. Come on, man, you gonna put me out with some bums? How I'm supposed to look? Put me out there with some starters. Start off his lineman, protect me. And let's see how good he really is. All y'all got to do is find out if you have a quarterback for the future or...
Shedeur, meanwhile, is sitting there thinking, wait, how long has someone's LinkedIn connections affected my NFL dream? The man is out there slogging, displaying poise, accuracy, and pocket presence that causes defensive lines to reevaluate their life decisions. Even still, he's the one standing by the sidelines as everyone hypes Gabriel as if he were the next great thing? Come on. Even though no one is outright claiming that it's all rigged, the agency, circle, and storyline are all the same. Dillon is the one. Do you think it's a bit too convenient? The way the Dillon Gabriel hype train took off this season makes it impossible to blame anyone for believing that this is a setup. The Browns media crew appeared to be compensated only to mention his name. Footage from training camp, preseason forecasts, and sporadic feature items, it was all over. They weren't merely hiding him, they were attempting to practically speak it into being. Shedeur's name, meantime, became increasingly quieter, until all of a sudden, he vanished, returning to Boulder, the starting point of the story. It's poetry in the most disorganized way imaginable. And you could sense the change in energy the moment he arrived.
If you have no use for Shedeur, play him
increase his draft stock, increase his trade value, and then make the trade. The Baltimore Ravens already want Shedeur. By the end of the trade deadline, they might trade for Shedeur knowing, hey, we're not going to play Lamar Jackson the rest of the season. We're eliminated from the playoffs. Cooper Rush, he's not our future. Snoop Huntley's been here for 4 years and he's cool, but we know his ceiling. And more than anything, the Ravens know how to manage a personality like Shedeur. They're not scared of those personalities.
Yeah.
They got Lamar Jackson. They had Ray Lewis. They had Terrell Suggs. They had Ed Reed. Like, the Ravens aren't intimidated by guys with big personalities, by guys with...
Fans were giddy as cameras appeared, and Coach Prime appeared to have just retrieved his covert weapon. The whisper in the locker room was almost audible. Oh yeah, it's about to get real again. However, Cam Newton allegedly had some ideas, so there was another twist. Additionally, you can see that Cam's speech is a complete sermon rather than merely a take. To be fair, he wasn't entirely incorrect. This season, Cleveland's offense has been so perplexing that it could use its own instruction manual. However, it's audacious to claim that Shedeur wouldn't have an impact. Very brave. Because if there's one thing that everyone knows about Shedeur Sanders, it's that he rewrites the game rather than merely playing it. The man has the assurance of someone fully aware of his skill and the accuracy of a surgeon. That combination is risky in every manner. And what is Shedeur doing as the football world goes crazy? Not posting statements, not panicking. On Halloween, he's playing games, laughing, and grooving on Twitch like a man who is aware of his popularity but doesn't give a damn. Fans, meanwhile, are going crazy, dissecting every moment of the stream as if it were the Zapruder movie.
But what pisses me off to you is Kevin Stefanski does not like Shedeur Sanders. He argued against taking him all the way. The owner overruled him and the GM in the 5th round. He had already taken Dylan Gabriel 50 slots higher. Shedeur finally went to Cleveland. And in this case, it's the principle of Kevin Stefanski getting away with saying publicly, no, Joe Flacco's my second.
Hold on. Is the background a Colorado jersey? Is that a clue? Will he be returning full-time? Each frame served as a clue. Shedeur as well. He simply grinned and continued to play as if there were no pixels on the internet. Calm down. The man is merely playing games. However, it alone reveals a lot about his personality. Shedeur is just living his life, while everyone else is going crazy trying to figure out what he will do next. It's not conceited. That's calm assurance. That demonstrates poise under duress. Imagine now that you're in Colorado. Just now, your best quarterback came back through the door. The entire sports world is asking the same question as fans yell, cameras flash, and media converge. Is he really returning to play, I wonder? Then there's Deion Sanders, who's most likely beaming from ear to ear because the attention alone is worth 6 points, regardless of whether Shedeur suits up. Football is no longer the only sport played in Colorado. They make the headlines. Boulder must have an incredible amount of energy at the moment. It resembles the much-anticipated sequel to the popular film, Primetime 2, Shedeur's Comeback. The movie poster already has Shedeur standing at midfield with his shades on and the slogan, "Back where it all started."
They are unwilling, clearly, to allow Shedeur Sanders to man the offense in a real NFL game. Kevin Stefanski was asked about it, and he said, I'm not concentrating on the current development of Shedeur Sanders. I'm worried about what we're worried about. I'm now convinced that we need to do a deeper dive investigation into why they are so reluctant to give the kid a shot. I don't know that it's going to be any good. I think there's as good a chance that he stinks.
But let's face it, positioning may be more important here than football. Consider it. At the moment, Cleveland is a skip fire enmeshed in a power struggle. Colorado, however, is legacy territory. That is a combination of spotlight, loyalty, and family. Additionally, the Sanders family are the ones who know the legacy best overall. Deion used dominance and swagger to establish his reputation. Shedeur constructed his with poise and accuracy. When you combine those, you have a hazardous combination that might lead to an empire. He's demonstrating his dedication, according to half of his supporters, who are calling this loyalty. They claim that the other half is confused or even undecided. But the actual play is being missed by both parties. This is a tactic masquerading as surprise, because one thing is true in the world of sports now. Power comes from visibility. And without ever setting foot on the pitch, Shedeur Sanders just regained the spotlight. And Shedeur Sanders is the most visible person at the moment. The most outrageous aspect was that he didn't even need to speak. Perhaps he dapped up his dad and caused the internet to go crazy when he simply showed them smiling and serene. That is PR at the highest level without any effort on your part. He didn't share anything, he didn't make fun of it. The headlines wrote themselves when he simply showed up. Given that the Dillon Gabriel takeover story is becoming a bit too neat, let's go back to the beginning. Conspiracy leaders claim that Gabriel has been pressured by the same close-knit groups that stand to gain from his continued dominance. You have to admit that it's funny how well those dots fit together, whether it's factual information or simply Twitter detective work.
Play at the NFL level. I thought his college career was a little over-embellished, but to his credit, he played well in college. I just don't know how well, and I think a lot of the hype was because of his dad, who's regarded as one of the great athletes of all time. But it just doesn't make sense when you acknowledge the fact that NFL coaches and owners would literally trade their moms into sex slavery.
Consider it. Both sides are represented by the same agent, the same media outlets are promoting the same story, and the same talking points are being spread like a public relations script. It's hardly a coincidence. Come on. That is a template for marketing. To be honest, Shedeur's decision to leave that situation may have been his best move to date. Since your future hinges on who is dining with whose agent, would you really want to be locked in a political swamp if you were Shedeur Sanders? Or do you want to be back in Boulder surrounded by family, fans, and a coaching staff that actually knows your name, your story, and your worth? Walking away can sometimes mean leveling up rather than quitting. Simple call. Drama like this cannot be scripted. A quarterback makes a dip, he is flirted with by the NFL, college football progresses, then all of a sudden, he's back, turning the entire sports industry on its head. This would be the mid-season plot bombshell in a television program that would send everyone running to Reddit and debating hypotheses like it's a national emergency. Speaking of speculations, it seems like online investigators are working non-stop. Like they're cracking the Da Vinci Code. They're examining every picture in detail, taking screenshots of his outbursts, examining his hand motions, and examining every background element. It's utterly lovely pandemonium. But really, that's what makes it all magical. Football is no longer the only game played. It's a theater. Sanders seems to have scripted every move for optimal reaction.
Am I saying that Shedeur Sanders is going to come out here and be 15 to 25,000 times better than Dillon Gabriel? No. I'm telling you that the narrative and myth that somehow he's 3,000 light years behind is crazy work. Now, the timetable is quickly ticking. You know why? Because no matter what you're going to say, Shedeur Sanders hasn't seen the field. He ain't played.
The director is Deion. The star is Shedeur. The rest of us are only viewers attempting to follow along with the next scenario. Let's now discuss what this might signify for the Colorado season, because the program as a whole would be instantly shocked if Shedeur did indeed return to play. In a hurry, the Buffaloes would go from rebuilding to a revenge tour. All of the opponents suddenly become anxious. All sports publications rush to revise their power rankings. And since it's no longer about coaching drama, Cleveland politics, or Dillon Gabriel, every camera in the nation shifts back towards Boulder. It concerns Shedeur. Once more, the headlines shout the same thing everywhere you look. Returning to Boulder is Shedeur Sanders. Brief, easy, and viral. He has suddenly regained the spotlight without uttering a single word. He might be returning to play. Perhaps he's simply paying a visit. Or perhaps he's reminding everyone who controls the news. For whatever reason, it's gloriously chaotic and well-timed, because there is always more than one side to the story when it comes to the Sanders family. It always ends with the world watching them, and there's always something more profound and planned. It was a crazy tale that combined its legacy, strategy, controversy, and charisma. It combines marketing, football, and pure entertainment. In all honesty, it makes the sport much more thrilling. Here we are then. Shedeur Sanders has returned to the starting point. Boulders are humming more than ever. Cleveland is perplexed. Users of the internet are constantly updating their feeds in an attempt to determine what will happen next. The only genuine issue that remains is whether he just made the best professional decision of the year or if he just started a new storm that will soon rock the league as a whole. In any case, nobody is averting their eyes or preparing for what is about to happen, because everyone in the football world watches Shedeur Sanders when he moves. Oh, this comeback has everyone talking. Players, supporters, commentators, and even opponents who vowed they had heard enough about him. The Sanders brand isn't limited to football. Let's face it, it dominates the discussion. Boulder is somehow mentioned in every story, argument, and viral video. The Sanders family seems to be constantly revising the script, while everyone else is merely catching up on their film. So rethink if you believe that this is the end of the tale. This isn't the conclusion. This is merely an interval. The next act is going to be much more bizarre. I promise you won't want to miss what comes next, so be sure to like, share, comment, and subscribe to the channel. I'll see you on the following one.